Quite right, it is all about the athletes. That is all it is ever about. All the facilities are wonderful. All the organisation, of course, you can't do without it. The sponsors and the governmental support, very much part of the occasion. But it is all about putting yourself to the best of your ability, to the best levels that you can possibly achieve. The ASEAN Para flag makes its way out alongside the Thai flag, the host of these 13th ASEAN Para Games. First one was in Malaysia in 2001. This is the second time that Nakhon Ratchasima has been the host. And it is what they call the capital of the para-athletes in Thailand, so rather appropriate that we are here.
And I think the para-athletes are going to enjoy the weather conditions here in Nakhon Ratchasima as well.
It's nice and cool, but the competition will be red hot. This is actually the ceremony for the hoisting of the ASEAN Para Sport Federation flag and the official competition flag, and this will be waving throughout the week at this stadium, which will be hosting most of the venues. The mascots working overtime. Many of these guys were mascots for the SEA Games. And as for the parade itself, the flag bearers coming out, going alphabetically, starting with a small Brunei contingent.
Now the first delegation to enter the stadium, Brunei Darussalam, a total of 21 members in their contingent, comprising 12 para-athletes and 9 officials. Those para-athletes will be competing in 3 of the 19 sports here in Thailand, with representation in athletics, swimming and bowling. 8 will be participating in track and field events, 3 in bowling and 1 in swimming. Brunei won 8 medals at the last edition of these games, 3 gold, 3 silver and 2 bronze, all won at athletics events. Noor Hensan winning 2 gold, 1 in the shot put and the other in the discus throw F11 events. And training for a number of these athletes started a year ago with an initial pool of 35. Whittled down to the 12 who arrive with focus and pride, representing a nation that continues to strengthen its commitment to para-sport development and regional competition. Brunei's athletes known for discipline and dedication across their events.
Generous applause for the athletes of Brunei. Now then, this arguably is the nation to beat. In the last 3 ASEAN Para Games, Indonesia have topped the medals table. Historically, they've accumulated over 2,100 medals, of which 861 have been gold. And I hear that there's a target for them of 120 gold medals in this particular tournament. It's tough when a target to put on your back. But that, if they succeed, it would take them very close to 1,000 historic gold medals in the ASEAN Para Games, which is quite some achievement if they were to make it. รวมทั้งสิ้น50 คนทุกคนก้าวเข้ามาด้วยพลังแห่งความภูมิใจในฐานะหนึ่งในประเทศผู้นำด้านกีฬาของภูมิภาคค่ะ
And then we have the contingent from the Laos People's Democratic Republic making the way into the arena. Southeast Asia's only landlocked nation. They've been preparing for these games for months with the backing from both public and private sectors. Our national Paralympic team entering the 13th ASEAN Para Games, aiming to strengthen its presence on the regional para sports stage. They've sent a total delegation of 164 members, comprising of para-athletes, coaches and officials. The country will be represented in 12 sports here at the Games and have set themselves a target of winning 1 gold, 3 silver and 5 bronze Laos have never won a gold medal at the ASEAN Para Games, so they will be looking to create history here in Nakhon Ratchasima over the next week. It's a delegation which represents resilience and unity. Lao para-athletes often competing with strong team spirit and pride, reflecting steady development and commitment.
Malaysia make their way onto the stage. There's an awful lot of governmental support for para games in Malaysia. And there's an expectation, again a target has been put on them, that they will get 50 plus gold medals. They've accumulated over 1,100 medals in the time that the ASEAN Para Games have been launched in Malaysia in 2001. Some significant names to look out for. Chola Kau, a para badminton exponent with 2 Paralympic gold medals to his name. Bonnie Gustin in para powerlifting is another Paralympic gold medalist. And Eddie Bernard is a T44 para athlete who won bronze at the 2024 Paralympics. It is a strong contingent from Malaysia.
Myanmar now entering the stadium. A nation which sits 5th on the all-time medal tally with 210 gold, 167 silver and 180 bronze. They have sent over a delegation of 147 members with 97 para-athletes competing in 11 different disciplines. They won 15 gold medals at the last edition of the ASEAN Para Games, and almost half of them coming from athletics and swimming events. Those 2 disciplines combining for 20 of their 57 overall medals. 34-year-old Ong Mint Miat has been one of their stars over the years, with 32 medals won across the ASEAN Para Games, Asian Para Games and the Paralympic competitions. The S6 swimmer made his ASEAN Para Games debut in 2014 and is expected to be a reliable source of success at these games as well. Several other para-athletes were inspired to represent their nation at these events after watching the ASEAN Para Games in 2014, which was hosted in Naypyidaw. Testament to the lasting impact these competitions can have on generations to come.
Flag bearer for the Philippines, Miss Wanasini, leads a contingent who in their history have accumulated 289 gold medals, and they are targeting 15 to 25 in this particular edition. Philippines, well, they were meant to be hosting a Para Games in 2020, but that was during COVID times. So they'll be enjoying their stage on the top flight. Philippines historically competitive in athletics, boccia and swimming. And of course, expect the Philippines to be strong when it comes to the wheelchair basketball.
Singapore now takes the stage, led out by their flag bearer, John Hung, who will be making her para-judo debut at this edition of the Games, having made the switch from goalball, a sport which she won a silver medal in at the 2022 ASEAN Para Games, and there's confidence that she will be able to win a medal here in para-judo as well. She is one of 3 athletes in the Singapore contingent returning to the ASEAN Para Games in an entirely new sport. Former Paralympic medalist Teresa Goh is making her comeback at the first major games in almost 7 years. Another who is switching sports. She is the country's most bemedaled athlete at the ASEAN Para Games, but this time she will be competing in shooting. Jovin Tan, a former Paralympic sailor, will be competing in boccia instead at these games. Singapore represented by 37 para-athletes who will be competing across 11 sports, 13 of them making their debut here in Nakhon Ratchasima.
That was news about Teresa Goh for me. I've worked with her as a swimming commentator. Great fun she was as well. Well, if she's the most bemedaled of athletes, spare a thought for East Timor. They are rarely on the podium. They were late arrivals onto the para scene in Southeast Asia, only joining in 2003. They've got a very modest medal target of 0 to 3 in terms of gold. They've only accumulated 15 medals in their 12, make that 11 previous appearances at these games. Nonetheless, it is about taking part, it is about putting yourself in competition with the best in your region, and expect Timor-Leste to be as competitive as anybody out there.
และลำดับที่ 10 ครับ สาธารณรัฐสังคมนิยม
Vietnam now enters the stadium. To warm applause, a wonderful reception for them.
Well, wasn't it?
Biggest contingents at this edition of the ASEAN Para Games. 140 para athletes representing their country in the quest for glory across 11 different sports. Vietnam have set themselves a target of anything between 40 to 50 gold medals and are looking to finish in the top 5 of the overall standings at the end of the games. They did finish the 2023 edition of the ASEAN Para Games in 3rd with 66 gold, 58 silver and 77 bronze. Vietnamese para sports have seen positive developments in recent years, with athletes competing at regional, continental and global events and securing impressive achievements, including gold medals at the Paralympic Games. Many athletes from Vietnam have become powerful role models, embodying the spirit of perseverance and determination to rise above adversity.
The biggest cheer of all. Korat welcomes its para heroes. Thailand will reach 3,000 medals in all para competitions or all para games. They're on 2,927, of which 1,280 have been gold medals. They also have some of the top contenders. The wheelchair racing star Pongsakorn Payo has multiple Paralympic golds and is expected to dominate sprints. Indonesia and Thailand para badminton squads are expected to be very competitive as well. In fact, all over the board they have got representatives in all 19 of the sports. Do the Thais. Other names to look out for: Kisanapong Tisuam in para athletics, a T12 competitor, experienced a middle distance and sprint event in the visually impaired class, multiple ASEAN Para Games golds, and obviously a contender for gold once again, and a sprint star, Sadiwaran Intercot, a T47 athlete in para athletics. Thailand the hosts, Thailand with the expectations, and Thailand targeting, it has been said, 120 gold medals out of the 536 available. The competition is in the future. What a moment though for these athletes now. All the hard work, all the training, many of them based here in Nakhon Ratchasima, otherwise known as Korat. But to get this ovation from a pretty packed stadium, what a thrill, what a moment. You've been an athlete at the top level and nothing can beat it, Rosh.
Yeah, I mean, you train, you mentioned the training, the work that goes into it, the sacrifices that come into it for these athletes. And this is why I say that when it comes to opening ceremonies, a wonderful moment for the athletes to actually come out, enjoy the party before the pressure of competition starts to build. You can just enjoy, be in this moment here, get the recognition, get the introductions to the crowd, and receive all that warmth, all that appreciation, and all that support. It's wonderful to see. It really is a lovely sight.
Thailand have already made a winning start in the cerebral palsy football. Convincing victory over Philippines in a group match that took place yesterday. No activities going on today. Today is reserved purely for this opening ceremony. Activities get underway with some medals to be won from tomorrow. And then the 6 days of fierce, hard competition with all disability levels. There'll be controversy, there'll be tears, but there'll be an opportunity to say for all of these athletes, I was at the SEA Games.
Yeah, great memories for these athletes.
ที่ 9 อย่างเต็มภาคภูมิ
chance to represent themselves, their loved ones, the people who support them, and their nations at the ASEAN Para Games.
อยู่บนสนามแห่งศักดิ์ศรีแห่งนี้ครับ
There's goosebumps as well as they walk out here onto the track at this lovely venue.
Many of the Thai athletes actually use this as their base. This is the home of para-athletes. And as you can see, it's a beautiful, cloudless night.
Each nation stepped into this
Royal
arena
family all represented on this stage.
and national pride.
And we've seen the shows, but it is, and I'm really glad that you keep on emphasising this, Rosh, it is all about the athletes and what they do, how they can perform, whether they can hit those targets that have been set for them.
Yeah, it's going to be something really wonderful to keep an eye on over the course of this competition, over the course of this event. Some lofty targets. And a couple of nations as well. I mentioned Laos earlier, looking to create some history over the next week or so as they search for their first ever gold medal at the ASEAN Para Games.
That would be historic, and that would be celebrated. Good crowd, many in tracksuits, many obviously involved with the athletes, because as you say, the preparation that goes into it, the hours and hours of preparation, not only of the athletes but of their coaches and their families, many of whom will be here tonight to remember this occasion. Great stuff. Over 2,000 athletes, the most competitors ever in the Para Games. 536 different events, the most that have ever been in the ASEAN Para Games.
วินาทีแห่งความภาคภูมิใจของพวกเราครับทัพนักกีฬาเข้าสู่สนามนั่นเอง
Well, Singapore as well, the contingent with their 37 para-athletes competing across 11 sports. It marks the nation's broadest multi-para-sports representation to date. Real sign of the depth and breadth of Singapore's participation at these games, and it's a commitment to provide avenues for its para-athletes to represent their country at these major events.
For many athletes, this will be the start of a journey, because there are Asian Para Games.
That's right.
There are the Paralympics coming up in a couple of years' time.
It's a platform for a number of these para-athletes to, as you've mentioned, qualify for the Asian Para Games. They held in Japan. So aside from those medal targets, other targets to hit a few of these sports with qualification for the Asian Para Games.
Let's give it up for all the athletes, everyone.
Final roar of approval from the stands for all of the athletes.
An unforgettable night.
It is. It really is, ladies and gentlemen. This is.
We're going to be having the speeches
opening ceremony.
coming up next, the official welcomes for the athletes. And for all you viewers at home, remember, log on to the official channels, and no doubt news organisations will be filling in information of all the gold medals, especially the gold medals being won by your own athletes.